Shana Tova. Good Yontif, everybody. And here we are again, a year later, coming together as family, as friends, as community, to reflect on the year that was and to look forward to the year that will be, where we have changed, where we have stayed the same, and thinking about what the future might bring, even though we have no idea. Our blessing this year is for a sweet year, a good year, a year of wholeness, of holiness, and especially a year of health. May this be God's will, and we say, Amen.
On page 82, let's read responsibly from Psalm 15. Adonai mi yagur b'holecha, mi yishkon b'har kodshecha. Eternal God, who may abide in your house, who may dwell in your holy mountain?
Those who are upright, who do justly,
who speak the truth within their hearts, who do not slander others or wrong them or bring shame upon them, who scorn the base but honor those who revere God, who give their word and come what may do not retract, who do not exploit others, who never take bribes. Ose ele lo yimot le'olam. Those who live in this way shall never be shaken. On page 85, Nisim b'chol yom, the miracles of daily life.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan nosek vivina, ve'avhin beino uvein laila.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hama'avir she'ena me'enai, u'tmuma me'afapai. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, pokea kibri.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, zokeh yefufi.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hanoten le'yaref koach.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamechin mitzvadei David.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, malbish harumim.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, shasani ben chori.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, matir asurim.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, shasani Yisrael.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, ozei Yisrael b'gvura.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, oter Yisrael b'tifarah. Let's read together at the top of page 87. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher yasar et ha'adam b'chokmah, uvarav lo nekavim nekavim, chalulim chalulim, galui v'yadua lifnei chisei chivodecha, she'im yipateach echad mehem, o yisatchem echad mehem, I efshar lehitkayem v'la'amod lefanecha, Baruch atah Adonai, rofei kol basar, umafli la'asot.
Elohai, neshama shenatata b'techorahi, ata v'natarata yatzata, ata nefachta bi, ve'ata meshamra b'kirbi, kol zaman shehaneshama b'kirbi. Modani lefanecha, Adonai Elohai, Elohei Avotai. Modani lefanecha, Adonai Elohai, Elohei Avotai. Ribon kol ha'masim, Adon kol
On page 88, Sovereign of all the worlds, not in reliance upon the righteousness of our deeds do we place our longings before you. We look instead to your abundant mercy.
For what are we?
What is our life, and what our faithfulness? What is our goodness, and what our vaunted strength? What can we say in your presence, our God and God of all ages? Are not all the conquerors as nothing before you, and those of renown as though they had not been, the learned as if they had no knowledge, and the wise as if without understanding? Many of our works are vain, and our days pass away like a shadow. Our life would be altogether vanity, were it not for the soul, which, fashioned in your own image, gives us assurance of our higher destiny, and imparts to our fleeting days an abiding value. Despite all our frailty, we are your people, bound to your covenant and called to your service. We therefore thank you and bless you, and proclaim the holiness of your name. We proclaim the holiness of God's name through Torah, and the blessing for study of Torah is on the foot of page 89. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu la'asok b'divrei Torah. Elu devarim she'en lahem shiur she'adam ochel perotehem ba'olam hazeh, v'hakeren kayemet lo le'olam haba, ve'elu hem. These are the obligations without measure. Their fruit we eat now, their essence remains for us in the life to come. To honor father and mother, to perform acts of love and kindness, to attend the house of study daily, to welcome the stranger, to visit the sick, to rejoice with bride and groom, to console the bereaved, to pray with sincerity, to make peace when there is strife. But the study of Torah is equal to them all. The Talmud Torah keneged kulam. On page 91, Sukkei de Zimra, the poems of praise.
Baruch Shema v'haya ha'olam, Baruch Hu, Baruch Hosei v'reshit, Baruch Omer v'oseh, Baruch Ozer Mekayem, Baruch Merachem al ha'aretz, Baruch Merachem al ha'briot, Baruch Meshalem Zafatov Nireav, Baruch Elad, V'kayam Lanetzach, Baruch Odeh Matzil, Baruch Shemo.
Bishvachot u'bizmevot nigadelecha u'nishabechecha u'nefa'erecha v'nazkir shemcha v'namlichecha malkeinu Eloheinu yachid chei ha'olamim melech meshubach u'meforav adei ad shemo hagadol baruch atah Adonai melech mehulal batishbachot. On page 94, Psalm 150, Hallelujah.
Oh נשמע כל חי תברך את שמך אדוני אלוהינו ורוח כל בשר תפאר ותרומם זכרם מלכנו תמיד מן העולם ועד העולם אתה אין לנו מלך
God of all ages, of all creatures, of all generations, all praise to you. You guide the world with steadfast love, your creatures with tender mercy. You neither slumber nor sleep. You awaken the sleeping and arouse the dormant. You give speech to the silent, freedom to the enslaved, and justice to the oppressed. To you alone we give thanks. Continue on page 97.
האל בתעצומות עוזך הגדול בכבוד שמך הגיבור לנצח והנורא בנורתך המלך היושב על כיסא רם ונישא שוכן עד מרום וקדוש שמו וכתוב רננו צדיקים באדוני לישרים נמה תהילה בפי ישרים תתהלל ובדברי צדיקים תתברך ובלשון חסידים תתרומם ובקרב קדושים תתקדש ובמקהלות רבבות עמך בית ישראל
ברינה יתפעל שמך מלכנו בכל דור ודור ישתבח שמך לעד מלכנו האל המלך הגדול והקדוש בשמיים ובארץ. God, holy and great, let your name be praised forever in heaven and on earth. Baruch atah Adonai, El Melech Gadol Batishbachot, El HaHodaot, Adon HaNiflaot, Habocher B'shirei Zimra, Melech Elkei HaOlamim. Please rise for the Reader's Kaddish.
Amen.
on page 99 in the Hebrew. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, yotzer or uborei choshech, oseh shalom uborei et hakol, hameir la'aretz v'ladarim aleha berachamim, ubetuvo mechadesh b'chol yom tamid ma'aseh v'reishit. Ma rabu ma'asecha Adonai, kulam b'chokhma asita, malach ha'aretz kinyanecha. Titbarach Adonai Eloheinu al shevach ma'aseh yadecha, va'al me'orei or she'asita yiparucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai yotzer ha'me'orot. The law has been our garden of delight. The law has been our life. In deepest darkness we have held it fast. In the valley of tears it has upheld us. Therefore shall we learn this law, this Torah, and reveal it to our children, our truth, our way, our joy. It makes us one, a single heart. United in love, we shall walk unafraid. Blessed is the Torah of love that gives us strength to live, and blessed the Torah that makes all Israel one. We worship the power that unites all the universe into one great harmony. That oneness, however, is not yet. We see imperfection, disorder, and evil all about us. But before our eyes is a vision of perfection, of order and goodness. These too we have known in some measure. There is evil enough to break the heart, enough good to exalt the soul. Our people has experienced untold suffering and wondrous redemptions. We await a redemption more lasting and more splendid than any of the past. When will redemption come? When we master the violence that fills our world. When we look upon others as we would have them look upon us. When we grant to every person the rights we claim for ourselves. Ram v'nisad gadol v'nova, mashpil ge'im u'makbiya shifalim. Motzi asirim ufodeh anavim, ve'ozer dalim ve'oneh la'amo be'et shav'am elav. Tehilot le'el elyon, baruch hu u'mavoach. Moshe u'bnei Yisrael, Lecha anu shira b'simcha rabah, v'amru kulam.
Page 104. Before we enter into the Amidah, just a reminder that our family services are beginning right now upstairs in the Magid Cultural, the Lorraine Turple Learning Center. That's upstairs. Page 104, the Amidah.
Hello.
turn into the section of Unatane Tokef, it is said that the words we are about to utter were born of the martyrdom of Rabbi Amnon of Mayence. He chose to die that his faith might live. He said, Unatane Tokef Kedushat Hayom. Let us proclaim the sacred power of this day. It is awesome and full of dread. Now the divine judge looks upon our deeds and determines our destiny. A legend, and yet surely our deeds do not pass away unreported. Every word, every act inscribes itself in the book of life. Freely we choose, and what we have chosen to become stands in judgment over what we may yet hope to be. In our choices, we are not always free. But if only we make the effort to turn every force of goodness within and without, will help us while we live to escape that death of the heart which leads to sin.
ותזכור את כל הנשכחות ותפתח את זמר הזיכרונות ומעליו יקרב את אותו מיד כל אדם בו ובשופר גדול ייתקע וכל מעמד יישמע ומלאכים יחפזון וחילולי הרע יאחזון ומלאכים יחפזון וחילולי הרע יאחזון ותמנה יום חי, ותחתוך קדמה לכל בריאה, ותכתוב את גזר דינם בראש השנה ייכתבון, וביום צום כיפור ייחתמון, כמה יעברון וכמה ייברמון. מי יחיה ומי המות, מי וקיצו ומי לא וקיצו, מי ואש ומי ומים, מי וחרב ומי וחיה, מי ורב ומי וצמא, מי ורש ומי במגפה, מי וחניקה ומי וסגילה, מי ינוח ומי ינוח, מי ישקיט ומי יטורף, מי ישלב ומי יתייסר, מי יעני ומי יעשיר, מי יושפל ומי יערום. תשובה ותפילה וצדקה מרים את רוח הגזרה.
On Rosh Hashanah it is written, on Yom Kippur it is sealed. How many shall pass on and how many shall come to be? Who shall live and who shall die? Who shall see ripe age and who shall not? Who shall perish by fire and who by water? Who by sword and who by beast? Who by hunger and who by thirst? Who by earthquake and who by plague? Who by strangling and who by stoning? Who shall be secure and who shall be driven? Who shall be tranquil and who shall be troubled? Who shall be poor and who shall be rich? Who shall be humbled and who exalted? But repentance, prayer, and charity temper judgment's severe decree.
תהילתך, קשה לכעוס ונוח לרצות, כי לא תחבוט במות המת, אם בשובה מדרכה וחיה. וסופות לעפר בנפשו יביע לחמו משול כחרס הנשבר כחציר יבש וכתית נובל כצל עובר וכענן קלה וכרוח נושבת וכענן פורח וכחלום
Our origin is dust, and dust is our end. Each of us is a shattered urn, grass that must wither, a flower that will fade, a shadow moving on, a cloud passing by, a particle of dust floating on the wind, a dream soon forgotten. But you are the sovereign, the everlasting God. Let us rise.
With
לדור ודור נגיד גודלך, ולנצח נצחים קדושתך נקדיש. בשבחך אלוהינו מפינו לא ימוש לעולם ועד. ובכן תן פחדך אדוני אלוהינו על כל מעשיך ואימתך על כל מה שבראת. ויראוך כל המעשים וישתחוו לפניך כל הבריאים, ויעשו כולם אגודה אחת, לעשות רצונך בלבב שלם. כמו שידענו אדוני אלוהינו שהשלטון לפניך, עוז בידך וגבורה בימינך, ושמך נורא על כל מה שבראת. Page 112. Grant honor to your people, glory to those who revere you, hope to those who seek you, and courage to those who trust you. Bless your land with gladness and your city with joy, and cause the lights of redemption to dawn for all who dwell on earth. Then the just shall see and exult, the upright be glad, and the faithful sing for joy. Violence shall rage no more, and evil shall vanish like smoke. The rule of tyranny shall pass away from the earth, and you alone shall have dominion over all your works, as it is written. Yimloch Adonai leolam, Elohayich Zion, ledor vador. Hallelujah. Kadosh ata v'nora shemecha, v'ein Elohai mibaladecha, v'yigba Adonai tzavaot v'mishpat v'hel hakodosh, nikdash b'tzdaka, baruch ata Adonai, HaMelech HaKadosh. We praise you, O God. You reign in holiness. Let us be seated.
אתה בחרתנו מכל העמים, אהבת אותנו ורצית בנו, ורוממתנו מכל הלשונות, וקידשתנו במצוותיך, וקרבתנו מלכנו לעבודתך, ושמך הגדול והקדוש עלינו קראת, ותיתן לנו אדוני אלוהינו באהבה את יום הזיכרון הזה, יום תרועה, מקראי קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים.
In your love, O God, you have given us this day of remembrance to hear the sound of the shofar, to unite in worship and to recall the exodus from Egypt.
אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו, יעלה ויעבור, ויזכר זיכרוננו וזיכרון כל עמך בית ישראל לפניך, לטובה, לחן ולחסד ולרחמים ולחיים ולשלום, ביום הזיכרון הזה. זוכרנו אדוני אלוהינו, בוא לטובה, ופוקדנו בוא לברכה, והושיענו בו לחיים.
Amen. Our God and God of all ages, be mindful of your people Israel on this day of remembrance, and renew us in love and compassion, goodness, life, and peace. This day, remember us for well-being.
Amen.
This day, bless us with your nearness.
Amen.
This day, help us to live.
Amen.
Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu kadshenu b'mitzvotecha v'ten chalkenu b'toratecha sabeinu mituvecha v'samchenu b'shuatecha v'taher libenu le'ovdecha be'emet ki ata Elohim emet udvaracha emet v'kayam la'ad baruch ata Adonai melech hakol ha'aret mekadesh Yisrael b'yom hazikaron. And our prayer for service avodah, page 115. Look with favor, O God, upon us, and may our service be acceptable to you. Blessed is the eternal God, whom alone we serve in reverence. Modim anachnu lach, she'ata hu Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu, le'olam va'ed. Zur chayenu magen yishenu, ata hu ledor vador. On the next page, we give thanks to you for our lives which are in your hand, for our souls which are ever in your keeping, for your wondrous providence and your continuous goodness, which you bestow upon us day by day. Truly your mercies never fail, and your love and kindness never cease. Therefore do we forever put our trust in you. Let us rise for the Birkat Shalom, the priestly blessing.
אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו, ברכנו בברכה המשולשת ככתוב בתורה. יברכך
Shana Tova, everyone. I want to begin by thanking Rabbi Lazaro and Rabbi Ettlinger for inviting me to speak this morning. It's a great honor to address you on the morning of Rosh Hashanah. You know, I used to think that we rabbis were safe. I mean, that our jobs were secure, but I'm not so sure now. Of course, many of the tasks that we perform can be done by other people in the congregation, but I always thought we had one area of expertise that set us apart and that kept us secure, and that was in giving drashot, giving the sermon. But then Scott Morrison came along. Here's a politician who really knows how to deliver a sermon. You know, he gave his first major speech to the party faithful just a few days ago in Albury. It was reported in the media, and one rather waggish commentator called his speech the Sermon on the Murray. Kind of an Australian version of another speech that someone once gave. And that really began to worry me. Why did it worry me? Because what Scott Morrison actually said comes very close to what I want to talk about this morning. So I'll return to that in a moment, but first let me set the context for you. You see, the High Holy Days at Temple Beth Israel this year follows a theme, as it has done for several years now. The theme is healing, and the subtitle, Wholeness and Holiness. Healing, the overcoming of sickness, dis-ease, of pain or loss. In Jewish terms, making tshuva, returning to a state of well-being and completeness. That's one of those ideas that works on many different levels. Our youth movement, Netzer, describes tikkun, mending our brokenness, as a series of concentric circles. And I think we can borrow their model in speaking of healing as well. The innermost circle of healing is the personal, the inward, healing within ourselves. Then there's healing at the level of family, which is the basic group unit. And next there's community healing. Then the healing of society. Next the level of the nation, national healing. And finally, global healing. And of course, each larger circle within this model depends on us taking action in the circle within it. Ultimately, we must begin on the personal or inner circle. That is, we have to begin with ourselves. Now, I want to speak this morning about national healing. The political bloodlettings and acrimonious maneuverings of the last couple of weeks have caused immense hurt within our nation, and they require a process of healing to mend the rifts and to repair the breaches in our national fabric. I think many people feel this way. These recent events, though, are indicative of a much deeper illness that undermines and corrupts our national health. To deal with this illness, ultimately, each of us has to look within ourselves, because that's where all healing begins. Without beginning with ourselves, we can't hope to change anything in the wider community or the nation. The Yamim Noraim, these 10 days of tshuva, of returning, of restoring health, that fall between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, these days give us an opportunity to do justice. And my words today are only a start to the process. National healing, making the nation whole again. Now, I believe that's what the Prime Minister, Scott Morrison, I have to name him because we're never sure. That's what the Prime Minister set out to do in his sermon on the Murray. He drew on his evangelical Christian background. Actually, he attends a Pentecostal church, to use words that are appropriate to his religious vision of healing. And what did he say? He spoke of love. He said, to love Australia, we have to love Australians. And that was the essence of his message. And I'd like to tell you this morning that he's right. To quote John Lennon, all we need is love. Love is the only way to overcome the cancer that is eating away at our nation. And when he said that, the Prime Minister didn't mean loving an abstract version of Australia, our so-called Australian values, mateship, that sort of thing. The love that heals, the only love that heals, is love for the person who's sitting next to me right now, or on the other end of the telephone, or in front of me in the queue, or across the desk at work or in school. That love for another, a flesh and blood human being kind of love. The person I'm engaged with right now, loving that person, that's the only love that heals. That's what the Prime Minister meant, I believe, but he used Christian terminology to say it. And now I'm going to try to translate that into Jewish, as my mother used to put it. Love, as we're using the word here, is not about a feeling. It's not about a passion. It's not about an emotion or an emoting. It's not gushing. It's an action. It's a response. It's a recognition that the person I'm dealing with, speaking to, communicating with, is a human being like me, fully a human being. It's a recognition that we're both created B'Tselem Elohim, in the image of God, and that he or she deserves the same dignity and respect that I would have for myself. It's my duty, not my choice, my duty to act towards that person with chesed, with loving concern and kindness. Even that person who phones me uninvited to sell me a new energy plan or solar panels. It's my duty to treat that person with respect, even as I reject their once-in-a-lifetime offer. How much more so those people who come to me asking for help, who come to me asking for care, for chesed, for loving kindness. If we want to heal the deep wounds in our nation, we need to examine how we have treated one another in the political sphere, and then restore dignity to our political opponents in cases where we've treated them not as persons, but as objects, as Martin Buber would put it. When we've simply used them for our own gain. Though politics is, of course, about the use of power, the use of power doesn't have to be manipulative or even utilitarian. Power can be used to promote the well-being of others. In other words, to bring healing to those who are in suffering. In the words of the prophets, to support the needy and raise up those who have fallen, rather than to promote selfish ends. Last year, I was privileged, along with Sue, to lead 2 tours along the ancient Silk Road, Uzbekistan, Kyrgyzstan, and we went into western China to visit the town of Kashgar, an ancient caravanserai on the Silk Road. Kashgar in western China is not populated by Han Chinese. It's populated by the Uyghur people. The Uyghurs are Muslims. They're of a different ethnic character to the Eastern Han Chinese who now govern them. The Han Chinese do not trust the Uyghur people. I think it would be fair to say they fear them. They fear the Uyghurs because the Uyghur are a people who no longer have a land because they're governed by the Chinese. And some of them are nationalists. They want a land of their own. As a result, the Chinese rulers have set up detention camps for the Uyghur people. These camps are designed to re-educate the Uyghurs in Chinese values. It's similar to what the Chinese have done in Tibet. And of course, it's reminiscent of George Orwell's novel 1984, which itself was based on Stalinist Russia in the 1950s. A recent article claimed that according to the United Nations reports, there are 1 million Uyghurs incarcerated in these re-education facilities. 1 million people. The Uyghur guides, whom we had during our visits to Kashgar, were interesting examples of this process at work. On the first visit, the guide we had was actually quite open about the dangers that faced him personally. He feared re-education because he worked with foreign visitors like us. And he felt that the authorities would fear that we foreigners would influence him. He was ripe for re-education. And we believe that he was taken into re-education soon after our visit. The second guide, well, he simply evaded every question we asked about what life was like for the Uyghurs in China. He gave us stock answers that sounded like they came out of an official manual. His re-education had been complete, I guess. Everywhere around us in Kashgar, we felt the oppressive presence of the Chinese military and police. Photos of anything or any people that were remotely official-looking were forbidden. Streets were closed at random for military business. Shopkeepers had to serve in the local militia and practice riot control tactics with large batons in public so you could see them. This was social harmony created through fear, not love. There was no respect for the Uyghurs or their customs, only fear that they might try to overthrow the Han Chinese government by acts of terrorism. No doubt there have been terrorist acts there, but the result is that the entire ethnic group is seen as the enemy, in need of re-education in Han Chinese values, which were never theirs in the first place, of course. But clearly they are never trusted, and so they are never treated in a dignified, non-oppressive manner. This is, of course, an extreme example. It's not the situation in Australia, and God willing, it never will be so here. But how we treat others, with respect on the one hand, or with disregard, utilitarian motives, and contempt on the other, that's a universal issue. Equally, we're responsible for how we allow others, those who wield political power, to treat the defenseless in our name. The Nobel Prize-winning peace activist Elie Wiesel once wisely observed in relation to the Shoah, the Holocaust, that the opposite of love is not hate, it's indifference. For us Jews, the bystander, the indifferent one, who watched and did nothing during the Shoah, played the most dangerous role in Nazi Germany. The bystander enabled the worst things to happen by not speaking out against them. One of the great ethical lessons of the Shoah is that the bystander is not morally neutral. The person who stands by and allows evil to happen to others is as ethically responsible for the final result as the one who perpetrates the evil in the first place. So, the Prime Minister is right. To avoid becoming the kind of nation represented by the way that the ethnic Chinese treat the Uyghur people, to heal our political rifts without resorting to real or metaphorical detention and re-education centers, we must learn how to love one another, to respect each other even in the midst of our political and ideological differences. But that means speaking out when we see that there is a failure to act with respect and humanity towards other human beings. This applies not only to those who are similar to ourselves, it also applies to those who appear different from us. Indeed, it's most urgent when we're interacting with those who are different, because they are most easily alienated from us and turned into the enemy. Through Temple Beth Israel's Project Dignity, and you should all know about this project, because it began from this bimah about 3 or 4 years ago. Sue and I have come to know 2 young men who arrived in Australia about 6 or 7 years ago. They came here seeking asylum, and they arrived on leaky boats. They are, in effect and in reality, stateless people. One, who was an unaccompanied minor, 15 years old when he arrived, is a Hazara. He fled the Taliban in Afghanistan, coming via Pakistan to this country. The other is a Kurd from Iran. There are large persecuted Kurdish minorities in Iran, Syria, and Turkey. And they too are a people without a land. Both of these young men are self-taught in English. They're very keen to gain an education. They're sporty, both of them. And they do volunteer work within the community, both of them. Neither are given any support. That includes financial support, or indeed any hope by the officialdom in Australia. If they enter higher education, any financial support that they might have hoped to receive to live on is withdrawn. If they enter university, their financial support is withdrawn, so that they become totally dependent on charitable organizations simply to feed themselves and have a roof over their heads, and of course whatever they can earn while they do their studies. Very menial kinds of jobs. Now these guys are really warm, sociable men. We love having them over to join us. They're generous and they're gracious. They have delightful personalities and a keen desire to improve their lives and indeed to give back to this Australian society, though quite honestly, this society has given them shockingly little encouragement. Now, before Sue and I met and befriended these 2 young men who have sought asylum by the wrong route, asylum seekers were a distant category to us. We didn't know any. We read about their travails, but we saw them as aliens who were perhaps to be pitied, but not loved. These two young men have given the label asylum seeker, refugee, a human face. We now know what it means to love them. That is to show them respect and to treat them with dignity because they are fellow human beings created in the image of God. Just like us. Though they've suffered in ways we can't even begin to imagine, we're still bound to them now because they are our friends. We have befriended them. And we're blessed to realize that we can be a part of their healing. God willing, they'll be Australians one day, someday, if only our nation can see its way beyond fear, beyond indifference, to love. Isn't this what the Prime Minister's Sermon on the Murray was all about? Love them, show them dignity, because they are human beings too, like us. Then, as Australians, they will make Australia a nation we can all be proud of, and its wounds will finally be healed. Gemar Chatima Tova.
My friends, we turn now to Seder Kriyat Torah. We turn to the order of the reading for Torah on this Rosh Hashanah, page 120. Avinu Malkeinu, 100 generations have stood as we do now before the open ark. That they found in themselves little merit testifies to their humility. They repented and amended their ways. They fell only to rise again as they climbed toward the light. Strong was the faith of those who stood here before us, while we are of a generation that has sought to dethrone you. The facing page, we call you Avinu. As a loving parent, forgive our sins and failings, and reach for us as we reach for you. We call you Malkeinu, as a wise ruler. Teach us to add our strength to your love, that we may fulfill our destiny and redeem this world. To this vision, to this possibility, to this task, we offer ourselves anew. for we have little merit. Treat us generously and with kindness, and be our help. Loving and true, showing mercy to thousands, forgiving iniquity, transgression, and sin, and granting pardon. Beit Yaakov l'chu b'nelcha ba'or Adonai.
Adonai
My friends, we are going to continue in the reading of the Torah. And if you'd like to follow along with the Torah reading, it should be on your supplement as we are reading this morning from Genesis chapter 21. It'll be on your supplemental sheet that you received as you came into the congregation this morning. Our first Torah reader this morning is Effie Morowitz. And we call to Torah.
And so, for our first aliyah, we are at Genesis 21 verses 1 to 4. Effie Morowitz will lane for us, and we invite to Torah Ron and Judy Dodge, Adam Yoka Ryan, Allah and Mark Medenik, David and Glenda Jones, Karen and Victor Wayne, and Peter and Barbie Colliner. יעמדו צבי בן יצחק ומלכה ויהודית בת מרדכי ושרה ואדם אברהם בן שאול יצחק וציפורה וחנה בת אברהם ושרה ונעמי בת נחמיה ושושנה ומרדכי בן יהודה ודוד בן אברהם ושרה ושירי בת אברהם ושרה וקרן בת מנחם וצבי ולאה וחיים זאב שמואל בן יצחק מרדכי וחנה ראשונים לעלייה לתורה. ברוך אדוני מבורך לעולם ועד. אמן.
Amen. Mishaberach Avatana V'Hamid Tzach V'Yakov V'Imotenu Zara Rivka Rachel V'Leah. May the God of our ancestors bless you as you call to Torah, in honor of God, in honor of this new year, Rosh Hashanah, and in honor of the tremendous gifts of the heart that you have endowed upon this congregation. Your generosity allows for the growth of this community in ways that we can only imagine, and trust me, we do imagine. And as well for Allah and Mark, just the generosity that you have. Next high holidays, we will be sharing with the congregation a new machzor. These ones will be in a sense redundant, as you have endowed it in honor of your mother, Suzanne Gairo machzor. But for each and every one of you that stands here at Torah, the work of your heart, the work of your hands, everything that you do for this congregation goes with love and warmth to Ron and Judy, to Peter and Barbie, Adam and Yoko, Victor and Karen, and David and Glenda. With an open heart, we thank you, and with God's blessing, we say Amen and Mazel Tov.
Mazel. For our second Aliyah, we invite Simon Morowitz to lane first, and for the Aliyah, we invite Brian Samuel, Karen Wayne, Dorothy Graff, Alan Samuel, Peter Conn, Dot Nathan, Paul Nathan, Peter Newman, Howard Nathan, and Philip Bliss. Yamdu Tzvi Reuven ben Raphael Vesima Keren bat Menachem Tzvi Velea Dvorah bat Shem Arya uMiriam veAvram ben Tzvi Meir Velea Pesach ben Aryeh ומחד בת יוסף ושרה גרשון והרשל בן שלמה ומרים בן יוסף ושרה גרשון ויוסף בן חיים תומר ופייפל בן צבי ולאה שנים לליה לתורה. You will find us on this handout at verse 5 and onwards. Verse 5 is the fourth line down, fifth last word. Fourth line down, fifth last word. Baruch Adonai HaMavorach leolam va'ed. Amen.
ואברהם בן 100 שנה ויוולד לו את יצחק בנו ותאמר שרה צחוק עשה לי אלוהים כל השומע יצחק לי ותאמר מי מילל אברהם העניקה בנים שרה כי ילדתי בן לזקונה.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר נתן לנו תורה וחיי עולם נטע בתוכנו. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו התורה.
Amen.
Amen. Mishaberach Avotenu Abraham, Yitzchak, v'Yaakov, ve'imotenu Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, v'Leah. May the God of our ancestors bless you as you call to Torah, in honor of God, in honor of Rosh Hashanah, and in honor of the awards that you've received and communities that you've worked for have received as well. For Brian, you received the Vatik Award, an award that means that as a past president, you just never left. You stayed part of the community. But for Karen, Dorothy, and Alan, you all received your OIMs in the last year, and to Howard, your AM. And for Peter, you received the UPJ President's Award. And Dot, you received the TBI President's Award, and you're here up on the bima with your brother as well. And Philip receiving a very important award from the Victoria Multicultural Fair on behalf of the CCJ. Something that all of you have put so much work and effort into into the community, making the community a better work and believing in the importance of community. And without your work and the work of your hands, this community would not be as strong. And with God's blessing, we say Amen and Mazel Tov.
Mazel Tov. For our third Aliyah, Simon will continue laning, and we invite Dot Nathan, Hermie Ravel, Bunty Davis, Patty, Keith, Sandra Gordon, Jill Harris, Caroline Hurd, Jeff Sandler, Ilan Abrahams, Manya Van Aken, Brenda Khan, Jackie Burkett, Dorothy Bihari, Margaret Kay, Muffy Hand, Yadja Holstorff, Denise Joyner, Nita Jawari, Jordana Meschenberg, Benita Berilovich, Sue Silva, Carol Lowy, Deanna Levine, and Norman Heyman to come to Torah. You will find us at verse 8. Which you will find 6th line down, second last word in the handout. 6th line down, second last word. Baruch Adonai Mevarach Leolam Va'ed. Amen.
Amen. Vayigdal hayelet vayigamar vayas Avraham mishtekato vayom yigamer et Yitzchak vateres Sarah et ben Hagar hamitzrit asher yalda לאברהם מצחק ותאמר לאברהם גרש את אמה הזאת ואת בנה כי לא יירש בן האמה הזאת עם בני עם יצחק וירא הדבר מאוד בעיני אברהם על אודות בנו ויאמר אלוהים אל אברהם אל ירא בעיניך על הנער ועל אמתך כל אשר תאמר אליך שרה שמע בקולה כי ביצחק יקרא לך זרע וגם את בן האמה לגוי אשימנו כי זרעך הוא
חזק.
Sheberach Avotenu Avraham Yitzchak Yaakov Imotenu Sarah Rivka. May the God of our ancestors bless you as called to Torah, in honor of Torah, in honor of God, in honor of this new year of Rosh Hashanah, and in honor of the multitude and multiple areas of work that you all volunteer. I call it work because it's a work of the heart. It's things that you love to do to help grow this congregation and take it to the next level. But it extends beyond the congregation because it's in the fields, in the areas of pastoral care, organizing and seniors tea, being shamashim, allowing us to look good on the bima if it wasn't for you. And we work and volunteering with Emmy Monash on Friday afternoons when we have services there with a life book and knitting circle. And I'm only scratching the surface. And you're only a small amount of the many volunteers that we have in the community. But we're honoring you today for the work that you continue to do. And I hope it gives you as much joy as it seems to. And certainly we see it on your faces in everything that you do. And with God's blessing, we thank you and say Amen and Mazel Tov.
Mazel Tov. For our fourth Aliyah, we invite Karen Wayne, Joanne Lowy Irons, Roger Mendelson, Tom Gorod, Susan Hurst, Ian Samuel, Barry Fradkin, Jonathan Barnett, and Brian Samuel to come to Torah. Ya'amdu Keren bat Menachem Tzvi v'Leah, v'Chana bat Pinchas Moshe Halevi v'Ruth, v'Yaakov ben Nachum, v'Mendel ben Chaim v'Shoshana, v'Shoshana bat Miriam, v'Tzvi Mordechai ben Rafael v'Sima, v'Baruch ben Yehoshua, v'Yonatan ben Rafael, v'Tzvi Reuven ben Rafael v'Sima, Revi'im la'aliyah la'Torah. For this Aliyah, we invite Caroline Paz to lane for us, and you will find us at verse 14, which is 12th line down, second last word in the handout. 12th line down, second last word. Baruch Adonai mevarach leolam va'ed. Amen.
Amen. Vayashkem Abraham aboker vayikach lechem vehemat mayim vayiten el hagam sam al shikma ve'et hayeled yishalechea vatelech vateta vayikru hamayim min ha'emet vateshek et hayeled tachas achar hazihim vatelech vateshek la mineged harayek kim tachavu keshet ki amra el erei b'mot hayaled vateshek mineged vatisa et kola vatevek.
Amen. Mishaberach Avotenu Avraham Yitzchak v'Yaakov v'imotenu Sarah Rivka Rachel v'Leah. May the God of our ancestors bless you as you call to Torah, in honor of God, in honor of Rosh Hashanah, and in honor of the leadership positions that you hold within the Jewish community, extending beyond Temple Beth Israel. For your work, Karen, with Emmy Monash, along with Tom and Susan, and Joanne with the being chair of Mitzvah Day, for Ian, your role still on the Zionist Council of Victoria, and Barry for Bet Olam and the Jewish Museum, and Jonathan, where's Jonathan? Jonathan is president of PJB, and Roger and Brian as president, vice president of the UPJ. We are so blessed to have members in this congregation who are willing to step up to leadership in these positions, to move our community, our greater community forward, in ensuring that we have presence out in this Jewish community with all of its blessings. May you continue to find meaning in the work that you do within our community. With God's blessing, we say Amen and Mazel Tov.
For our fifth Aliyah, we invite Rabbi Fred Morgan to lane for us. And for the Aliyah, we invite Rebecca Silk, Robert Hershen, Craig Levine, Danny Sharp, Rob Sward, and Ala Medonik. יעמדו רבקה בת פרץ ומרתה, וראובן בן חיים, ויעקב בן צבי ופייגל, ודניאל בן זב והער, ויוסף בן שמואל ומרים, ונעמי בת נעמיה ושושנה. 50 לעלייה לתורה. We are at verse 17. Which you will find the fifth line from the bottom, second last word. Fifth line from the bottom, second last word. Baruch Adonai mevorach leolam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai mevorach leolam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher b'chavanu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai notei haTorah.
Amen.
Amen. Vayishma Elohim et kol hana. ויקרא מלאך אלוהים אל הגר מן השמיים, ויאמר לה מלאך הגר, אל תראי כי שמע אלוהים אל כל הנער אשר הוא שם. קומי שאי את הנער ותחזיקי את ידך בו, כי לגוי גדול עשימנו. ויבקע אלוהים את עיניה ותרד מים, ותמלא את החמת מים, ותשק את הנער. ויהי אלוהים את הנער ויגדל, וישב במדבר, ויהי בו וקשת. וישב במדבר פרן, ותיקח לו אמו אישה מארץ מצרים.
Amen.
Amen. Mishaberach Avatana Abraham Yitzchak Yaakov Imotena Sarah Perach Abraham. May the God of our ancestors bless you as your call to Torah, in honor of Torah, in honor of God, in honor of Shabbat, in honor of Rosh Hashanah. You didn't hear that. In honor of the tremendous work that you have put in creating what is known as the TBI Foundation. Having seen lots of emails that have been coming by, it's been very particular in making sure that the documents are accurate, that they're legal, to be that stepping stone to ensure that you are participating in something really profound and important. Two simple words, Lador Vador, from generation to generation, to ensure the continuity of this congregation through a foundation that can support programs not just from year to year, but through, please God, not just your family's children, but the children's children's children, as we say. May you continue to be blessed with this work, knowing this incredible work that you are doing. With God's blessing, we say Amen and Yasher Koach Mazel Tov. My friends, we rise now for Hagba and Glila as we lift and dress the Torah. Max?
זאת התורה אשר שם משה לפני בני ישראל. על פי אדוני ביד וזאת התורה אשר שם משה לפני בני ישראל. על פי אדוני ביד משה. יאיר אלי, יאיר אלי, יאיר אלי, find us at the maftir, so you'll find us at the bottom of the handout at the separate paragraph. For the sixth Aliyah, the maftir, we invite Rabbi Fred Morgan to continue laning for us, and the board Aliyah, Rebecca Silk, Judy Cohen, Gary Lewis, David Freeman, Dorothy Graff, Robert Hirsch, and John Hillel, Simon Langer, Craig Levine, Joanne Lowy Irons, Alamed Nick, Helen Shadi, and Sue Silverberg to come to Torah. Ya'amdu Rivka bat Peretz ve'Marta, ve'Yehudit bat Benjamin ve'Dvorah, ve'Chaim Leib ben Dan, ve'David Yosef ben Reuven ben Naomi, ve'Devorah bat Shemaraya u'Miriam, ve'Reuven ben Chaim, ve'Yaakov ben Tuvia Aaron, ve'Simcha ben Shmuel, ve'Yaakov ben Tzvi ve'Fegel, ve'Chana bat Pinchas Moshe Alevi ve'Ruth, ve'Naomi bat Neamia, ve'Shoshana ve'Orli bat Avram ve'Sara, ve'Shoshana bat Yonatan ve'Yona, Shishim la'aliyah la'Torah. Baruch Adonai mevarach leolam va'ed. Amen.
Amen. V'chodesh hashvi'i ke'echad la'chodesh mikra kodesh yeh lachem v'lechet avodah lo ta'asu yom teruah yeh lachem v'asitem olah v'reach nichoach l'Adonai Pad ben Bakar Echad Ayel Echad Kivasim B'nei Shana Shiva Tamimim Uminchatam Solet B'lulav Hashamen Shosha Esronim Lapal Shnei Esronim La'ayel V'Isaron Echad L'Cheves Ha'echad L'Shivat HaKisamim U'se'elizim echad chatat l'chaper aleichem milvad olad ha'chodesh u'minchata v'olad ha'tamid u'minchata v'neskeihem k'mishpatam l'reach nichoach isher l'Adonai.
Amen.
Amen. May the God of our ancestors bless you as you call to Torah, in honor of God, in honor of Rosh Hashanah. And I'm not quite sure what you guys do around here. It's not very much as board members, as you can see. The amount of hours that you all have put into this congregation and the community over the last year it's incomprehensible. It's just not possible to count up. Each of you working in different areas, having different portfolios on the board to push the momentum of this congregation, to push our vision forward. And it's I once heard somebody say it's just one meeting a month, but we know that extends a little bit more than that one meeting. And the most important thing is speaking to each one of you at different times, that you do it with such a full heart and such a sense of joy, knowing that you're helping your congregation, your community, and ensuring again in a different way that this is a place for the future of the progressive Jewish community. And with God's blessing, we say Amen and Mazel Tov. Amen. My friends, we rise once more for Hag B'Anglila as we lift and dress the Torah. Kevin Bell.
Vezot HaTorah Asher Sam Moshe Livnei Bnei Yisrael B'nei Israel. Al pi Adonai beyad Moshe. Yadalai, 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 please be seated.
And we continue with the reading of the Haftarah, page 133, as Yvonne and Howard Elton share the reading with us. Page 133, Nehemiah 8.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar b'nvi'im tovim v'ratzav divreim hanemarim b'emet. Baruch atah Adonai abocher haTorah u'Moshe avdo u'Yisrael amo u'b'nvi'ei ha'emet v'tzedek. From Nehemiah chapter 5 takes place at the Watergate. Vayigah hachodesh hashvi'i v'nei Yisrael b'direihem v'yosfu chol ha'am k'ish echad el harchov asher lifnei sha'ar hamayim. At the coming of the 7th month, when the people of Israel were in their towns, all the people gathered as one body in the square in front of the Watergate. They asked Ezra the scribe to bring the book of the Torah of Moses, which the Lord had enjoined upon Israel. On the first day of the 7th month, Ezra the priest brought the Torah before the assembly, both men and women and all who could understand, and he read from it, facing the square in front of the Watergate, from early morning till noon. Then Nehemiah the governor, Ezra the priestly scribe, and the Levites who taught the people said to them, "This day is holy to the Lord your God. Do not mourn or weep." For all the people had been weeping when they heard the words of the Torah. Then he said to them, "Go now, eat of the best, drink sweet wine, and send portions to those for whom nothing is prepared. For this day is holy to our God. Do not be sad, for the joy of the Lord is your strength." Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam tzur kol ha'alamim tzadik b'chol hadorot ha'el ha'ne'eman ha'omer v'oseh ha'medaber u'mkayem shekol dvarav emet v'tzedek ne'eman atah Adonai Eloheinu v'ne'emanim dvarecha v'davar echad min dvarecha achol lo yashuv reikam ki el melech ne'eman v'rachaman atah baruch atah Adonai ha'el ha'ne'eman b'chol davarav rachem al Tzion ki hi beit chayenu v'lalu vat nefesh Toshia b'mheira b'yameinu, Baruch atah Adonai, Mesameach Tzion b'vanecha. Samcheinu Adonai Eloheinu, Eliyahu hanavi avdecha, U'malchut beit David Mashiachecha, b'mheira yavo v'yagel libeinu. Al kisolo yeshev zal, vayol yinchalu od acherim et kvodo, ki v'shem kodshecha nishbata lo, shelo yevke nero li'olam va'ed, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen David.
Amen.
Torah, Yom Avodah, Yom Hanviim, Yom HaZikaron Hazeh, שנתת לנו, אדוני אלוהינו, לכבוד ולתפארת על הכל, אדוני אלוהינו, אנחנו מודים לך ומברכים אותה. יתברך שמך בפי כל חי, תמיד לעולם ועד, ודברך האמת וקיים לעד. ברוך אתה אדוני, מלך על כל הארץ, מקדש ישראל ביום הזיכרון.
Let us rise for the prayer for our congregation and our nation and the state of Israel, page 152.
Eternal God, we pray to you for the whole house of Israel, scattered over the earth, yet bound together by a common history and united by a common heritage of faith and hope. Be with our brothers and sisters whose lives are made hard because they are Jews. Give them strength to endure and lead them soon from bondage to freedom, from darkness to light. Bless this holy congregation and all who serve it, together with all other holy congregations in all lands near and far. Uphold us, shield us, and bestow upon us abundant life and health and peace and happiness. Bring to fulfillment the blessing of Moses. Your eternal God make you 1,000 times as many as you are, and bless you. Amen. O God, send your healing to the sick, your comfort to all who are in pain or anxiety, your tender love to the sorrowing hearts among us. Be their refuge through the time of trial, as they pass from weakness to strength, from suffering to consolation, from lonely fear to the courage of faith. Amen.
In the prayer for our nation.
For our nation and its rulers, we pray for all who hold positions of leadership and responsibility in our national life. Let your blessing rest upon them and make them responsive to your will, so that our nation will be to the world an example of justice and compassion. Deepen our love for our country and our desire to serve it. Strengthen our power of self-sacrifice for our nation's welfare. Teach us to uphold its good name by our own right conduct. Cause us to see clearly that the well-being of our nation is in the hands of all its citizens. Imbue us with the zeal for the cause of liberty in our own land and in all lands, and help us always to keep our homes safe from affliction, strife and war. Amen.
The state of Israel.
אבינו שבשמיים, צור ישראל וגואלו, ברך את מדינת ישראל, ראשית צמיחת גאולתנו. הגן עליה בארכת חסדך, ופרוס עליה סוכת שלומך, ושלח אורך ואמיתך לראשיה, שריה ויועציה, ותקנה בעצה טובה מלפניך, ונתת שלום בארץ. ושמחתם עולם ליושביה, ונאמר אמן.
We pray for the land of Israel and its people. May its borders know peace, its inhabitants tranquility. And may the bonds of faith and fate, which unite the Jews of all lands, be a source of strength to Israel and to us all. God of all lands and ages, answer our constant prayer with a Zion once more aglow with light for us and for all the world. And let us say, Amen.
Amen. We remain standing as we return the Torah to the Ark on page 154.
Oh
God's law is perfect, restoring the soul. God's teaching is sure, making wise the simple. God's precepts are right, rejoicing the heart. God's mitzvah is clear, giving light to the eyes. God's word is pure, enduring forever. God's judgments are true and altogether just. We're on page 138. Seder Tikar Shofar, the sounding of the Shbreit Shofar. ובחודש השביעי באחד לחודש מקרא קודש יהיה לכם ומלאכת עבודה לא תעשו יום תרועה יהיה לכם. Hear the shofar, acclaim the world's creation, and now recall Isaac's awesome trial. Hear now the shofar, you who stand at Sinai, and now proclaim the rule of Israel's God. Hear now the call and turn in true repentance, and now affirm the triumph of good. We are made in the divine image. We are the house of Israel, a kingdom of priests, a holy people. Awake, you sleepers, from your sleep. Rouse yourselves, and slumberers, out of your slumber. Examine your deeds and turn to God in repentance. Remember your Creator, you who are caught up in the daily round, losing sight of eternal truth, you who are wasting your years in vain pursuits that neither profit nor save. Look closely at yourselves, improve your ways and your deeds, abandon your evil ways, your unworthy schemes, every one of you. Let us rise, for the Aleinu is part of our Molchuyot.
גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא זמנו כמשפחות אדמה, שלא זם חלקנו כהם בגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים
eternity you will reign in glory.
Lift up your heads, O gates. Lift yourselves up, O ancient doors. Let the one who reigns in glory enter. Who is it that reigns in glory? The God of all being is the one who reigns in glory.
The prophet declares, I am the first and I am the last. I am the only one.
As it is written in the Torah, Hear, O Israel, the Eternal One is our God, the Eternal God is one. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
We turn over to page 142 as we remain standing for the blessing for the shofar and the shehechianu.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lilmoad kol shofar. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה. תגיע שברים תרועה Tekiah, Tekiah, Shevarim, Tekiah, Tekiah. Teruah, Tekiah.
We may be seated. We turn forward to page 146 for the essence of this section. O God and God of all generations, remember us with favor and grant us your compassionate deliverance. Remember your love for us, the covenant you made with Abraham on Mount Moriah, Remember his boundless love for you, his willingness to offer you all that was his. Show us your compassion then, and in your goodness, look with favor upon your people and your loved ones.
For you are the one who remembers all that has been forgotten. There is no forgetfulness in your presence. Blessed is the Eternal One who remembers the covenant. Baruch Ata Adonai, Zocher Habrit.
We rise.
Tekiah Shevarim Teruah Tekiah Tekiah Shevarim Tekiah Tekiah Teruah Tekiah
of our shofar service. This section of shofarot, we turn to page 150. Baruch atah Adonai, shomea kol truat amo Yisrael b'rachamim. Our God and God of all generations, sound the great shofar to proclaim our freedom. Raise the banner for the redemption of the oppressed. Signal liberty for all who are in exile. Bring lasting joy to Zion and to Jerusalem, your holy city. We praise you, the merciful God, who hearkens to the sound of the shofar. We rise once more.
Tekiah Shevarim Teruah Tekiah Tekiah Shevarim Tekiah Tekiah Teruah Tekiah Gedolah Chazal.
you, Rabbi. And thank you, Rabbi Morgan, for challenging and inspiring us. I don't think you've lost the art of the sermon at all. And welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us on this wonderful Rosh Hashanah morning. It's wonderful to see so many people here. And welcome also if you are visiting from near or far. I would like to thank the people responsible for our wonderful liturgy, Cantor Lalum, Rhonda, David, Joe and the choir. Thank you so much. I'd like to thank our hard-working Shamashim this morning, Denise, Rosemary, Aviv and Jackie. Thank you for helping to run our service. Just a few announcements, basically about what's happening tomorrow. So, firstly tonight we will have our Ma'ariv service at 6:15. Do join us. Tomorrow morning we will have our Shachrit service for second day of Rosh Hashanah at 10 o'clock. And then if you would also like to come to Elwood Lifesaving Club, we will have Tashlich at 1 p.m. Could you please thank our CSG volunteers on your way out and our others, our SPT, our own shore protection volunteers. And before that, we have our friends from Netzer in the foyer. They will be giving out some little green business cards, so do please take one of those with you. They need a little bit of financial support to continue doing the wonderful work that they do. Also, if you haven't already been given one of these flyers for our new Machzor, Mishkan Teshuvah, please do take one of those with you. We're very excited about the new Machzor and hope that you will order copies for yourself, your family and also for the shul. I think that's all. I wish you Shana Tova.
Let us rise for Aleinu on page 156.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשינו כגויי ארצות, ולא זמנו כמשפחות אדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגור עלינו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא.
You spread out the heavens and establish the earth. You are our God, there is none else. In truth, you alone are our sovereign God, as it is written. Know then this day and take it to heart. The Eternal One is God in the heavens above and on the earth below. There is none else.
We therefore hope, eternal God, soon to behold the glory of your might. Then will false gods vanish from your hearts, and the world will be perfected under your unchallenged rule. And then will all acclaim you as their God, and forsaking evil, turn to you alone. Let all who dwell on earth acknowledge that unto you every knee must bend, every tongue swear loyalty. Before you, eternal God, let them humble themselves. To your glorious name, let them give honor. Let all accept the yoke of your sovereign rule, that you may reign over them soon and forever. For you are sovereign, and to all eternity you will reign in glory. As it is written, the eternal God will reign forever and ever. We remain standing for a few more moments as we turn to page 158 in the words of Kaddish Yaton.
At this time, we just take a moment to remember those who have died in the last week or in the last 30 days. Of course, Yahrzeit, the full Yahrzeits, will be read this coming Shabbat. But for the Shiva, remember Janice Goldberg, Ellen Frankel, Ronald Lode. And for the Shloshim, remember Magda Gal, Heidi Goldstein, Alexander Raphael Ivalinsky, Anne Jocelyn Jacobs, Michael Kutcher, Marion Lipman, Bob Nita, Linda Roma, Victor Samuel, and Shoshana Zan. We name them as well as those who we name in our hearts as we turn to Kaddish Yatom, the mourners Kaddish, as a community combined. Yitzgadal v'yitzkadash shemei Rabbah, v'yamad yivrach v'yitzei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayachon v'yom echon, v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, v'agalav v'zman kariv v'yimeru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach l'olam l'amei almaya, yitzvarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei l'kedusha b'rihu.
Leila mikal birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, ta'miran v'alma v'yimru amen. Yehei shlam Rabbah min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, v'yaseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen.
Hamakom yinachem etchem b'toch shah havlei Tzion v'Yerushalayim. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved, in Zion, in Jerusalem, and around the world. And we say, Amen. Our final song this morning is L'Shana Tova. We wish everybody a sweet year, a good year, and a year especially of health, healing, and wholeness. Shana Tova, everybody.
Shana Tova u'metuka.